Just pay your buddy to steal it, or
But
pretend to steal it. Fucking just leave it on the side of the road.
don't do that. That's illegal.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Death Claws, the podcast where two washed up local musicians wax poetic about conspiracy theories and other paranormal oddities. Ooh, I'm your host O'Brien.
And not Beardley.
Oh, should we have other names? We are actually AI right now. Officially AI.
Yeah.
You are not even seeing us. But we wanted to try this out where we do an entire episode dedicated to one or two like conspiracy theories, like weird stuff to talk about, paranormal stuff. But this one, the first, the inaugural Death Claws, we're going to talk about the Death Claws and the Death Claws conspiracy theory in the music industry. Am I not talking loud? So we're just gonna name the episodes when we do this Death Claws.
Yeah. Dude, we're really taking some chances. It's like two weeks in a row.
We got to keep it fresh, baby. We got a relationship with our listeners here. We got to keep them guessing.
Keep them guessing.
We're role playing right now. Ooh. Don't kink shame us.
Let me just say, I love conspiracy theories. I don't believe most of them. It's a super entertaining way to like take long drives.
Yeah,
like hearing stupid stuff.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of wild conspiracies.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. It's just like it blows your mind like while you're listening to it, and then after you're just like, that was dumb.
Yeah, the Earth's flat. It's like,
yeah, I mean you know it is flat. It is. Well, then how come when I look out the window? Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun to listen to them and stuff. And I mean, recently people have taken them to the extreme, but I think that's more a reflection on our public school system more than anything, because they're really just for entertainment purposes.
yeah. And that's all this podcast is for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, except for the one we're going to talk about today, which may get us killed because it's real.
No, I don't think so.
May get us unalived for YouTube safe vernacular.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into it.
Neither one of us are depressed right at this moment.
I am not considering unaliving myself.
That's one like disclaimer all these conspiracy theory videos have, like the hardcore conspiracy theorists. It's like,
if anything happens to me,
I'm not depressed. I don't consider unaliving myself.
Yeah, people as they're getting carried. There was that one. Who was it? Somebody was like getting taken, like the judge was like guilty, and then they're like taking him away. I'm not depressed. If anything happens to me,
I don't remember.
You're not that important. Come on. Nobody's gonna abstain you. Just kidding. All right, so let's get into it. So, we're gonna be talking about the death clause in music industry, and he sent me. I watched something. A friend of the pod, Michelle, sent me a video on death clause and stuff in the music industry, and then interestingly enough, Beardley he sent me one. We had split up for work, and he's like, dude, check this out. And he sent me this video, and I started watching. I was like, whoa, this is pretty cool. It was just like a different take on it, like a deeper dive. And so we've been kind of into it for a couple weeks now, and we talked about it last week, how we were just deep diving into the conspiracy theory.
Yeah, the video is called "The Music Industry's Darkest Secret," and it's from Barely Sociable.
Yeah,
the channel Barely Sociable. Go check it out. It's about an hour and some change, the video, and like the part we're going to talk about, like it kind of jumps around a little bit, like the actual death clause. He goes into like what we're going to talk about a lot of, and then like how the record industry is just still making money hand over fist. You know,
Yeah.
people blame Spotify.
It's posthumous profiteering is how they put it. So basically making a shit ton of money because somebody died.
Yeah.
So we'll start off by just explaining the death clause. In there are these lines in contracts, in record contracts, where they can take out, and this is I was gonna do life insurance before I started working here. I was like trying to find anything to do, and I like did the classes and everything, and took the test, and I passed it and everything. I didn't go through with the actual licensing. But it is true. It's they call it the key figure or key guy insurance clause. Basically, like if you have a company and your top salesman is just like basically fucking making like all of your profits, you can put a life insurance policy on that guy without any signatures or anything. So that's basically essentially what the death clause is doing in a record contract, whereas a record contract is kind of structured like a loan. So you get the advance, and if you don't make it, there is a line in there where you can get I think 10 times what the artist is actually worth.
Well, you don't get that. That's if the artist dies.
Yeah.
So like
it's a life insurance policy.
Yeah. So, you know, it's not in the contract like, hey, if you don't make it, we're gonna, you know.
Yeah. It's so funny because we like dove so deep into this where it's like it's just a reality.
Yeah. So,
but it's So
yeah, up to 10 times.
That's a minor detail, the minutia of the contract, whereas the person has to be unalived. So the life insurance policy guarantees 10 times what the artist is worth. So what ends up happening is that the artist becomes more valuable dead than alive.
So like I'm worth $1 with my life policy. I'm worth $10.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool.
I get $10. You didn't have to sign on. You're the key guy here. So it's gotta. You just gotta look at the history of deaths in the music industry, and it boils down to an artist has a 5 to 10 times greater risk of death, like premature death, 2 to 7 times more greater chance of death, and of unalivism, and 8 times more likely to be unalived for homicide, which is pretty bonkers. So you think about like, and this is just us spitballing. When we started talking about this, we're like, well, do you think about like Michael Jackson, Prince, Janis Joplin, Elvis, Whitney Houston? All of them were kind of similar, where it's just like they also talk about like it's really easy to fake a death that way, like, oh, we found this in their system or whatever,
yeah,
you know, or just like their heart just stopped. It's pretty easy to do that. But then one of the things that the video doesn't discuss that we were talking about is the airplane crashes. So we looked into it, and there are so many airplane crashes resulting in deaths of artists. And it's interesting for two reasons. The odds of a plane crash, according to Harvard, is 1 in 1.2 million.
Jeez.
And the odds of you dying in a plane crash is 1 in 11 million. So we looked it up, and I don't even think this is all of them, but the famous Leonard Skinner plane crash killed Ronnie Van Zant, the frontman, Steve Gaines, the guitar player, and Casey Gaines, who was Cassie Gaines,
backup singer.
who was the backup singer. We also have DJ AM. Travis Barker lived, but could you imagine how much money that would have made had he died? It sounds fucking awful to say, but that's the point of this.
Yeah.
Is that if they took all of them out, like Blink 182, all of Travis Barker's, he was like at the height at that point. All of his vehicles would have been just. What were the numbers for like?
Well, like Prince,
what they start generating?
Yeah, the day after Prince died, his profits went up 16,000%.
16,000%.
That's a day after he died.
Yeah.
Tom Petty, like this is just like a small graph I saw. Tom Petty was 6,800%, and you know those are like big national acts. This one, Chris Cornell, was 550%, and you know, like I was telling you, I could understand that because you know Prince is Prince. Everybody knows Prince. My grandma knows Prince. You know,
mm-hmm. It's a household name.
Not everybody knows Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
So you know the people that do like it, or you know, like him, maybe lost their album, rebought it or downloaded it or something. You know,
reprinting vinyls of Soundgarden.
Yeah, a lot of it's like something I read real quick. It was just like record companies are so quick to put out reissues after somebody's passing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's like they were already printed.
Maybe, I don't know. But you brought up an interesting like fact too. Is just you know, after Chris Cornell died, on Instagram, it's like, who is he? And then his music's getting shared on Instagram, you know, in stories and stuff. I'm pretty sure like the Spotify listens go way up. People checking them out.
It's so
Apple
easy
Music.
now. People just like Google Chris Cornell and then, or just pop it into Spotify. So I also mentioned that is like, now, well, I don't want to like skip any, like, skip any of the airplane deaths. People were like, what about, what about Aaliyah? So Aaliyah too, Richie Valens, who was in a plane with Big Bopper
and Buddy Holly.
Dude, that, I mean, how many movies came out of that?
La Bamba, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that was probably like the first movie I fell in love with, you know?
And the music's still being played today.
Yeah. You know that song You're Mine that he sings on the phone? That was mine and my wife's like first dance song.
Wow.
Like I think we needed something really quick, and it's like I had watched La Bamba the night before I got married.
For the first time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. My dad texted me because I had a room. You know, you can't see your wife the day of the wedding, so I had a room, and like everybody was supposed to come over, like all my groomsmen and stuff. They're supposed to come over, and nobody did. Oh, my buddy Rawl, shout out to Rawl. Oh, dude, real quick side note, he texted me. He saw a sticker of the Lake Arrowhead Brewing Company.
Oh, that's so
He's
funny.
like, you guys just talked about this last week, and I'm just seeing it now. So
yeah, it's like the glass shattering. Like once you talk about it or once you know about it, you start seeing it everywhere.
Yeah. So he came by later, but like he had to work. I think he was working at Disneyland at the time, and the hotel was right down the street. But anyways, like I was in the room pretty much all day by myself, like all night. So my dad texted, he's like, "What are you doing?"
Watching pay-per-view porn.
He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Watching La Bamba." Like I remember that distinctly, but yeah. So sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there it is, prime example. It's still affecting people's lives to this day. You chose your first dance song because of the movie, you know?
Yeah, kind of.
Patsy Cline, Leah, John Denver, but that's
John. Yeah, the John Denver one is
that John Denver's full of shit.
So
if you could guess that quote, we will send you this soap from Specialty Soaps by Mark the Man.
Yeah. Comment down below.
Yeah, comment.
Or comment on this week's. I got to start doing a clip.
Yeah, for this episode's clip, comment where that quote's from.
I promise there'll be a clip this week.
First person will send you that song.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll buy a gay bar from him so we can send that out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. So John Denver, like he had a pilot's license, and his license was actually suspended or his driver's license at least was suspended. I didn't say anything about his pilot.
So he had to fly everywhere.
No, so he like for drunk driving.
He really wanted Del Taco. He's like, "Fuck, I gotta fly and then walk and then fly back."
So the story goes that he was trying to like switch his fuel tank. I guess like there's a switch to
Switch his fuel tank.
and instead of hitting that, he hit like a different button to control the pedals or something, and he went and like lost control, and that's how he crashed.
Also, Steve Ray Vaughan. That was a helicopter crash.
Helicopter.
Which I would fathom is a lot easier to stage an accident, a crash, or whatever.
Randy Rhoads.
I was like, who else was I gonna mention? Randy Rhoads.
Right. So that one is.
So could you imagine if maybe they thought Ozzy was in there as well? Because that would have just.
Yeah, the pilot, like, I forget. I don't remember the reason why they were in the plane, but the pilot saw the tour bus, and he wanted to buzz over it, like a Top Gun. You know, he buzzes through the thing. So he wanted to buzz over it. But the wing clipped the top of the tour bus.
Holy shit!
There was 3 people: the pilot, Randy Rhoads, and I forgot the woman's name that was in there.
My God,
somebody's girlfriend. But yeah, that's how Randy Rhoads went.
Mob hit, right? So yeah, so those are all the plane crashes. So you got to consider like the odds of a plane crash, the odds of dying in a plane crash, which are like 10 times greater, and also the odds of you becoming a famous musician.
Yeah.
So all of those together, for there to be that many deaths in aerial accidents is just, you can't ignore it. It's so fucking ridiculous how minute that the odds of that are. I mean, now after this list, if I were a gambling man, like, who's flying right now? Like, how old are they? What did their last album do? And that's dark.
Yeah, that's really dark.
I mean, people place dark bets, but I'm not a gambling man, so I will not be. There will be no Deadpool here. Yeah, so you take into account all those deaths and when they happen. In particular, one of the cool ones was cool ones. What an asshole! One of the more interesting, shocking ones was John Lennon.
Yeah,
You mentioned.
Yeah, so he died in 1980 on December 8th. I know that because Dimebag was murdered not the same exact day, but on December 8th. But when he passed away, or when John Lennon was murdered, he didn't have any, he was out of the business for a couple years.
Like 5 years, right?
Like not putting out any music, not doing anything. And this was after like his first, I think like the first couple solo albums, with Imagine and everything. Mm-hmm. So he finally had like a couple months prior, finally put out an album, and it wasn't received well by critics or by fans. Like people did not like it. And, he gets taken out. I forget the guy's. I keep wanting to say Jared Leto, but Jared Leto played.
Yeah, that was insane. I remember that might have been one of the last times I walked into a Blockbuster, but I remember seeing the cover for it. I was like, "This is Jared Leto."
Yeah,
it was like on the wall.
I get.
But you also mentioned that about the Christmas.
Yeah, so December 8th, everybody's in the holiday spirits and stuff, and this is pre-internet, so people had he basically took over the Christmas charts with his music,
Mhm.
and like nothing before him, or I don't know, maybe like now with social media and Mariah Carey,
Yeah.
you know, she's in her slumber, she's waking up, you know.
They
I don't,
thaw her out.
yeah,
Her
I
and
don't,
Michael Bublé.
I don't know like how those do, but like for a few years, like John Lennon was top of the charts in December. Like he was a top selling Christmas artist.
Yeah.
Because
And the time where companies go into the black, they like make up all their losses for the year.
yeah,
So it kind of makes you wonder, like that last album that didn't do well, that was like the nail in the coffin. Allegedly, we're just alleging here. We're just waxing poetic here. Dude, I was thinking, like, could you imagine if
Mark David Chapman.
Mark David Chapman?
I kept wanting to say John Wayne Gacy. I knew it was like three words, or three names. Mark David Chapman.
If going back to Randy Rhoads, if Ozzy and Randy Rhoads had died in the Randy Rhoads era of Ozzy, that would have been a huge like financial windfall for the people involved.
Yeah,
The not only all of the Black Sabbath stuff, but those solo Ozzy albums.
I mean, he did what? 2 with Randy, I want to say. Bark
Yeah.
at the Moon was, I think, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then Osman
Cometh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been massive. A massive tragedy.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what I'm trying to say. But in you know, I'm not gonna keep explaining this, but in the interest of the conspiracy theory here, a lot of people would have made a lot of money. So we started digging a little deeper, and we find like correlation, like it's still happening today. Like when you hear of music plants or music industry plants, like people that
Sorry, let me stop you right there. It's Blizzard of Oz and Diary of a Madman.
oh wow, we were way off.
Yeah. But
Still good
also,
albums.
like, that's another thing, too, that, I mean, I'm not saying he
Those other two were Zach Wild.
no. Another capital, like, the record industry capitalized because they put out that live album with Ozzy
Oh yeah,
and Randy.
with the Randy Rhoads live album.
Like that one, I mean, I bought that. You know, I
Yeah.
remember I bought that in Florida. Like, we went to Florida when I was like in 8th grade, I think. And there was like a Virgin Megastore, and I bought that album there. And I'm pretty sure that album did really, really well. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
They're like, damn it, he lived. Now all we got is this reality show. A couple of Ozfest tours. But oh yeah, record industry plants. So I don't know if you guys have heard that term, but it's where a record company basically just makes somebody famous. People are saying Billie Eilish, William Eyelash is a
Is a plant?
is a plant.
People are saying Drake's a plant.
Oh, I mean, kind of makes sense, but it goes even deeper.
I was just curious to look up like who's the top artist right now, and Drake is number 1 by far on as far as plays go, on even like higher than Taylor Swift and everything. It's,
Yeah, pretty bonkers. But there are different ways to manipulate those numbers, and we kind of dug into the history of it. So
because of this video too. Like,
Yeah.
it goes into it.
yeah, one of the oldest forms of this was jukeboxes,
Well,
which
before
is
that was payola.
yeah. Payola was they would basically go and bribe radio stations like the DJs and stuff to with money, sex, drugs to play these records. And that's another thing where when they started tracking these kind of things like the success, the sales and all that stuff, they started to realize that that songs that didn't have key changes, basically songs that were easy to listen to, that didn't really require too much knowledge from the person, basically pop.
Yeah.
Those songs were received the best, but also there's this psychological thing where it's a simple song and you hear it over and over and over and over, and eventually
You'll start to like it.
you start to like it because songs that are familiar to you, when you hear them, it releases you get dopamines,
Yeah.
where you that's right, is that
Yeah.
right, dopamines, where you feel good. And I remember when I was a kid and the radio was playing that fucking Hoobastank song. I'm not a perfect person. YouTube, don't take us down because of my accurate singing. It sounds just like the recording.
Who mistake y'all hired?
That song would make me physically ill. I fucking hated that song. I was like, this song is like, Hoobastank wasn't a terrible band, but I was like, who thought this was a good song? Who let them record it, and who decided this was their single? But I swear to God, every station was playing it 50, 100 times a day, and it could not escape it. And after a certain point, I was like, this song's good. And then I thought when I was a kid, I was like, no, that's what they want to happen.
Yeah.
They're just fucking trying to ram it down our throats.
Dude.
And
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, it's just like there's psychological proof to it. It's like a fucking
What's that one guy's name? Hey.
No, I have no idea. I know what song you're talking about though.
Fuck.
Is that another one for you where you're like, I can't escape this song and I hate it, and then you start liking it?
Dude, no, it was like the opposite. Because I was in training years when that song first came out. I fucking can't remember his name. His dad was an actor.
I have no clue.
Somebody comment down below.
Yeah, if you can give us the name, I'll give you this blue drumstick.
Quit bribing our fans.
Do research for us after the episode.
Yeah. Like it's at the tip of. Anyways, they played that.
The tongue, teeth, lips.
So I was in training in South San Francisco for a week, and it was inside a warehouse. And the warehouse guy had a radio on his wall and stuff, and just had it on one station. I shit you not, like every half hour they were playing that song.
Yeah.
I remember counting one day, like in like 6 hours that we were in the warehouse, I heard that song at least, I don't know, I think it was like 17 times.
Oh, dude, there was an episode of TSD where Bry called a radio station and he was like, "Why the fuck do you guys keep playing this song?" And he's like, "I've heard it like 6 times in the last 8 hours." And they were like, "Well, normally people don't listen to the same radio station for 8 hours. They listen to it while they're going to work and then on their way back." That was so funny. He was like, "Oh." Because there are metrics for that too, like how long the average listener listens to a station. That's why you hear the songs over and over and over. So going back to payola, they would pay these radio stations to keep playing the song over and over and over, and then eventually people would start liking it because of that chemical reaction from when you hear a familiar song.
Yeah.
And so what happened was that jukeboxes came into existence, and there were 4 companies that produced and supplied jukeboxes, and most of them, if not all of them, were mob owned. And for instance, like the Chicago mob owned 100,000 of the 550,000 jukeboxes in the entire USA. So a fifth of all the jukeboxes were just from that Chicago mob. And then they were also bootlegging the records, the vinyls that were going into the jukeboxes. And then they were also hitting up artists and like signing artists, and they would put those jukeboxes or those records into the jukeboxes. So that's where we got the top 40. So when you hear, top 40 or top 100 or whatever, those came from record store sales and jukebox plays. So it was easy for them to just, and they had a hold on the fuck are you doing? The distribution part where the money's being collected, where they're doing maintenance, and where they're putting new records in, and they can also just fudge the numbers. Say, oh, this they fucking sign, Frank Sinatra, and then they tell the billboard people, oh, it has this many plays in the jukeboxes. They're like, damn, fucking, he's pretty popular in Chicago. Whoa, wonder why. So in the 50s, radio stations just would play the best music, and the best music is what was popular at the time. So every radio station is playing whatever the fucking mob wanted them to play.
Yeah, and at that time, the best record was the one that sold the most.
Yeah, the one that got played the most in the jukebox, and who had control of the jukeboxes.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
So that, today we see it in record company plants or music industry plants. So it's just so easy when you have that much money where you can just pick somebody and fucking have people write their music and everything and control everything, the entire image and everything around them, the marketing and all that stuff, and just fucking ram it down people's throats. And I'm sorry, am I boring you?
No, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I'm going to go back and listen to all this because I'm going to be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention because this thing is still bugging me.
What?
Figuring out this dude's name.
Oh my God, you're still thinking about it?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
If only we were a live podcast. I can just have somebody fucking... Just Google it really quick. We'll talk amongst ourselves. Hey, what's up, everybody?
No. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Like, I caught bits and pieces. Like, the mob ran the jukeboxes and they controlled the top 40, and that leads into record sales. That leads into sales of tickets. That leads into merchandise, lunch boxes, you name it, T-shirts.
I never said lunch boxes.
I know you didn't, but I did.
Yeah. So so that's where we get kind of introduced to the mob aspect of all of this, the seedy characters. And there was on that video they have there's an investigative news report about payola and about the mob and the music industry and all that stuff. And I mean, it made a lot of sense. One of the ones they talked about that I really liked was about rare earth. Did you figure it out?
Yes, Robin Thicke.
That's Robin Thicke?
Yeah, that's his name. Sorry,
I never ever would have guessed that.
I kept wanting to say like Robbie, something Robbie, but
I thought it was 3 Doors Down.
It's 9 Days, G.
9 Days Grace.
Yeah. So
this band Rare Earth, I think it was the singer, Gil Bridges. He was they interviewed him, and it was interesting what he said. Is like anybody who's making a lot of money, if you think about it, like especially fucking kids that were just like playing in their garage for most of their lives and then go out and get a hit and start making money, can attract, they're like susceptible to all kind of shady characters that want a piece.
Yeah. I haven't heard that. Jesus, I haven't heard that much like influence in other avenues yet. When I think of the mob or mafia or whatever, I think they're still old school. They do old school things, and so they're not hip to technology, so they're not going after podcasters or YouTubers or streamers, like the amount of money that I do. Okay, so I was reading yesterday.
They're like, hey, what's a podcast? Hey.
fuck's a podcast?
Hey, I'm podcasting you.
I was reading like there's a certain podcast that charges $1 million an ad read just because he gets hundreds of thousands, if not hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views.
Who is it?
It's a very
Who is it?
it's an easy Google search.
Tell us.
No, but like that's an anomaly, I guess you would say, like that much. But like the for an
It's
average
exception, not the rule.
yeah. So like an average one
Obviously.
is is a like a podcast that gets like tens of thousands of listens and stuff. It's about $3,000 an ad read.
And this guy's getting $1 million.
Yeah, well, he is
Joe Rogan.
yeah.
I don't give a shit. Come after me, Joe Rogan.
No, please don't. I love your
I'll
podcast.
fucking fight you. I don't give a shit.
He will destroy us both. No, but yeah, it's just something because I do research and I'm trying to make money.
Yeah, right. Currently, we get $0 for 0 ads. So you could come after us, Joe Rogan. You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. We got nothing to lose here. Listen to the mob. I'm sorry.
Don't start a beef with Joe Rogan. Dude.
Taco Bell or Del Taco, Joe Rogan? Answer me now.
It's like neither. But yeah, like a typical pod, like I was saying, tens of thousands of views is probably about like $3,000 to $6,000, and
We're almost there. We're almost there, baby. Just come on, keep subscribing. Just keep replaying the episodes. Put them on repeat. Just let them play in the background. Help us out. Help us out here.
I'm gonna hire some bots, dude.
Got to pay for this house. All right. So speaking of bots, you brought up a good point. I saw an article in the Rolling Stone. Do you remember that whole release the Snyder cut
Yeah,
of the Justice League? That whole campaign.
yeah. I think I'd even tweeted it too. Like,
So
hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
when that whole Elon Musk buying Twitter thing came out, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to pay for this because you can't prove to me that the growth in new users aren't bots."
Yeah,
So they had to like actually investigate it, and they found that there were a shit ton of bots. And this article alleges that Zack Snyder himself used bots to influence the algos on Twitter and basically make release the Snyder cut
trendy.
trend. So it trended, and then the studio caved to popular opinion. What am I trying to say?
Yeah,
Popular demand.
Yeah,
So he denies the whole thing. He said if anybody did that, it was the studio, Warner Brothers, which would make a lot more sense than just Zack Snyder. I don't think he cares that much about his director's cut, which is pretty sweet, by the way. I did like that.
I didn't like that.
It's like
was
4 hours.
black and white.
It wasn't black and white. They had a black and white version.
I think that's what I saw.
So
Maybe it was HBO, dude, to launch HBO Max, because around that time it's like HBO Go went to HBO Max,
yeah,
and
right.
Like, okay, we got Warner Brothers, like,
The plot thickens.
dude,
Yeah,
like,
they got DC, they got Warner Brothers, they got fucking millions of bots on Twitter. They're like, what do we do with these bots? Who told us to buy all these bots? What are we gonna do with them? He's like, oh, I don't know. Release the Snyder, the Snyder cut. Great, run with it. Hey, Billy, run with this. Huh?
I mean, we could say the same thing about a certain elected official, and like the
Yeah, this is all how we talked about. Like we was talking about technology growing exponentially, and it's way like fucking dude, bureaucracy and legislation and stuff is so fucking. They're still signing shit on paper and fucking just taking it to this guy, and then he's gonna walk it over to this. It just takes so. It hasn't caught up, basically. Like the technology is moving a lot faster than bureaucracies do. So it's hard to get ahead of these kinds of things where they're like, oh, this is this is available to manipulate. This is available to use. There's no laws against this. We could just do it. And then when it's done, then they make a law. Like, well, we already did it. It wasn't illegal when we did it. So fuck you, right?
Yeah.
But after I read that, I was like, holy shit, the jukeboxes were the original bots.
Yeah.
They were actual fucking bots, like mechanical, wooden, electrical bots. And those were, I mean, obviously Twitter wasn't around back then, but it's essentially the same thing. It's a machine that they use to manipulate numbers. So it's still happening. I mean, there's always going to be a new jukebox. Like the DJ was the first jukebox. The radio was the first jukebox. The actual guy, fucking playing the records over the air was the original bot. So you manipulate him to do what you want and fudge the numbers that way. And manipulating shareholders or fraud or whatever you want to call it. And then the jukeboxes came, and now we've got algorithms and hashtags and just all these social networks that can be manipulated in the same way. So really, there's no hope for anything. It's just once they figure it out on Twitter and stuff and figure out those bots, then there's just gonna be fucking the next thing. That's what, they come down on Meta, Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff, and then Twitter, and then it's just got to keep moving. That's what we were talking about. Like, what was wrong with Friendster? It's the same thing as MySpace, and MySpace was the same thing as Facebook, but they got to keep making new companies, and because once one of them get hip to the things that are happening there, then they just fucking make another one.
Yep.
Like TikTok, it's fucking just reels. There's just reels on Instagram, but it has to be
Reels came out after.
Yeah, I know, TikTok. But it's like they have to just keep making something new.
Dude, TikTok. So, I would use TikTok like a lot.
Beardley's obsessed with TikTok.
I was just gonna say that's where Beardley's obsessed with TikTok. But like, dude, they're like some of the stuff in their terms of service kind of freaks me out a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's like they have access to like your keystrokes on your phone, and then
that's everything. It's always been that way, because when you type Google, like, oh wow, cool, Google knew what I was gonna type already, and then you hit it. But that's why. That's all fucking targeted ads.
Dude, I was thinking about this the other day, like the targeted ads thing. Remember, like when
as fuck.
Remember when you like how mind blown you were, like when you first got like an Instagram or something, or you get an ad or something, and like, I was just thinking about this, or it's like, how I remember
my brains were blown.
Yeah, my brains were blown out. Now it's like, fucking stop listening to me.
Yeah, at first you're like, whoa, what a coincidence. That's so cool.
Now it's just they're not even trying to hide it anymore, dude.
No, you're all fucking Dale Gribble and shit in a bunker, fucking underground tunnels under Hank's house. But another fucking cool quote that I really liked was from it's all dark and shit. The drummer Peter Orovak, they interviewed him, and he said he had like,
from what band?
This is still from, sorry, like fucking, this is still from Rare Earth.
Okay.
He just said that there were like people coming to his door, like strange characters, shady characters, basically fucking mob hitmen, like hired goons.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Hired goons. But a cool quote he said, and I don't know why I never like thought of it in this way, but it was so cool. He said that we were creating lots of money in which a lot of people were benefiting. We were a motor, and when that motor stops, it affects a lot of people, and a lot of those people aren't very happy when the money stops coming in. So you got fucking a group of 6 guys in their fucking 20s, making a lot of people a shitload of money, and they have fucking life insurance policies put on them. And once that motor stops, it they can keep making that money by just getting rid of them, by putting them all in an airplane.
Yeah.
Crashing that airplane.
Paying them. It's crazy to think of, like you see that. I hear that quote and I think of like the early 90s, like that whole death row, like the Suge Knight stuff, sending people to people's houses, like the Frank Sinatra thing.
Fucking Vanilla Ice, like hung them over the balcony.
Frank Sinatra, like he was, I forgot what the name of his band he was singing, or the band he was singing for.
Yeah, for an orchestra.
Yeah, and once he outgrew them, he was trying to get out of his contract, and they offered the company like $65,000 or something, which back then was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's not 2023 65,000.
That'd be like $4 billion today.
Yeah, it's like, well, probably, I was gonna say like 65 million. Yeah. And then he went and visited somebody. He said, "Hey, they're not letting me out of my contract." And next thing he knows, his contract's bought out for $1.
Lucky Luciano and the Genovese crime family.
It's crazy, man.
Lucky Luch.
I want to know, but I don't want to find out like how much of that is still going on. Like, but again, I think.
What is that one thing you found was that there were 3 record companies that owned about 20% of Spotify, and you look at the origin of those record companies, and a lot of them were mob owned. So they would do shit like that, like, okay, we got the jukeboxes, so we got the radio stations, and we're also bootlegging the vinyls, so we're also selling to the record companies, or I mean the record stores just had their hands in every form. It's like what are they like? Not RICO, like RICO cases where they just like it's like a conspiracy, a criminal conspiracy. So they have their hands in everything, and then they started signing bands and doing interests with. They would use fronts, basically front people, like, oh, I'm just an A&R guy,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know he's getting paid by the mob. He's just paid by this other guy, and then it goes up like a chain. And so they start owning the artists, owning the jukeboxes, owning the radio stations, owning the DJs, and then they start owning the clubs. And then that's when touring became a thing. Because before they started owning the clubs, and then they were just like, fucking, okay, next artist. But before that, before the mob took over like the clubs and stuff, they would all be residencies.
Yeah.
So like you would have a job. You would go punch in and you'd play that club, and that was your job. That's where you worked. Like, look at fucking I Love Lucy. Like
yeah,
Ricardo. He played at that club. That was his gig. That was his job. And so
did he own the club?
I think eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was also a fake TV show. So no, he didn't own the club. So it was so that's the way it was before. That was normal. Like you had your band, and the band played at that club, and that's what that club was. Like you want a Big Mac, you go to McDonald's. You want to see this band, you go to whatever, I don't know, the Tropicana.
Yeah. Do you think that's why? Well, I mean, but Vegas like was built on residencies. Like Elvis had a resident.
Yeah, it's like the mob bought Vegas, and then they went back to, they're like, you know what I miss? This residency. We really fucked that one up. Let's make a place out in the desert where we can go back to the old times before we fucked it up and made fucking bands tour, be away from their families for 2 years at a time, and then go back and fucking record.
Do you remember Blink had a residency in Vegas for a little bit?
Yeah.
And then Tom left.
And then that's when Tom left. Fuck you, Tom. So many reasons.
Dude, the other night when you were at my house, did you hear what my wife said? Because it just so happens his name is, well, we call him Tommy, but like his hair is like super straight, and there's sometimes where he looks like Tom DeLonge in the "I Miss You" video, and his hair just happened to be like that. And I'm like, look, dude, I miss you, Tom.
Oh yeah.
And
It's like, we don't say that name in
yeah,
his
we don't
house.
say that name in my house. Oh, sorry. I mean, it's not that serious.
Fuck you, Tom. Hashtag fuck you, Tom.
Dude, you talk about Twitter bots and stuff, and you know who's not a bot on Twitter? Us. We're on Twitter. Share the backline without the E.
We're on Twitter. Share the backline, and
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I guess I don't know. I barely use. I'm not a big Twitter guy. I've
You
never
said
been,
like 10 episodes ago. Oh, I'm gonna get on the Twitter.
I've never been a big. I think because I can't spell.
Me neither. I know how to tweet. So I'll go on there. I'll have like a fucking dumb thought or a dumb joke, and I tweet it, and then I never look at it again. Or I fucking just share it Instagram.
Yeah, I'm like I said. I've said it before. I'm pretty dumb, so I don't know how to spell. Maybe that's why I don't use Twitter.
It's too confusing, man.
It's not confusing.
If any of you can show us how to use Twitter, we'll send you the other stick. So you might be able to get a full pair of sticks.
We'll send you this mixer and these glasses.
A full set of drumsticks, if you can guess
If you can guess,
the quote, and
send you the keys to my car.
teach us how to use Twitter. So yeah, so like you said, like you're curious and also terrified to see what role the mob still plays in the music. Even if they don't have ties, these companies started from there. So I mean, you could talk about like reparations and stuff, like the companies that started with slave labor, and the companies that started with all these fucking horrific things from the past. And I'm sure there's still a lot of companies today, like bootleggers and stuff, like moonshiners, and like all these companies that started from illegal activity.
Yeah,
just from from back when there wasn't. It was just harder to keep track of, and harder to report, and harder to crack down on it.
Yeah, it's insane. Like when you said, you stop making money and it makes a lot of people unhappy.
Yeah,
you gotta factor in like all the other businesses they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of it is probably like music is probably like just money laundering.
Yeah.
Because so much. Think about it. You spend $10 million on a tour that's going to last 6 months, and you don't make any of that back, or your profits are, or you say like we sold 1 billion shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's where all this extra money came from. We sold all these tickets. That's why, like, right now too is like going back to the shows and stuff. When the mob was starting to run shows,
Mm-hmm.
they had control of the ticket sales.
We got to get Rate My Promoter up off the ground.
Like, there's in that video, you guys definitely need to go check it out. It's going to be linked in the description. Like, they interview Ted Nugent,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, like, it's crazy to think that,
I made $500,000.
I think it was like $250,000, and I lost money, or I'm missing money.
Mm-hmm.
It's, just padding pockets of.
Yeah, it was like the mob guys. They told him like, "Oh yeah, 18,000 people showed up," but in reality, it was like 30,000 people.
Yeah,
He's like, I know I'm losing money. It's weird to say that I have $250,000 and
for one show,
I lost money.
Yeah, and now like with the whole Ticketmaster thing, and like I wouldn't be surprised like if it is still going on, how many of these people are just buying their own tickets and resell. I think that's what
like we did with the like 20 pre-sale. Like, okay, fuck it, how much are the tickets? $2. Like, here's $40. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, but like there was a famous. God damn, I can't remember shit today. There was somebody relatively famous now.
We're gonna run out of shit to give away. Coming up with these answers that we can't.
They said, yeah, they buy a bulk of their tickets and scalp them themselves because They make so much money, more money doing that.
Yeah, but then your own ticket bots.
Yeah.
Fuck this genius. But I mean that's where people are. They're backed up into this corner because they have these fucking loans, advances that they've got to pay back, and they know there's a death clause on their contract, and they don't fucking want to fly anywhere. They got to take tour buses because they're afraid that the pilot's gonna have drugs in his system or whatever. Like once they do the autopsy and all that stuff. So yeah, going back to the death clause, these quite literal motors, like this guy said, making money when they stop. If your car stops running, you have insurance on it. Just drive it off a bridge. Just pay your buddy to steal it, or pretend to steal it. Fucking just leave it on the side of the road.
Don't do that. That's illegal.
I'm not advocating for insurance fraud here, people, but that's kind of what it is.
Yeah. Remember when Homer tries to commit insurance fraud?
Yeah,
He jumps out of his car, and rolls into the rock.
He rolls back in and fucking flies back into the car. Yeah, just pay Mo Sislak to fucking steal your car, and then you can.
No, again, don't. We're not advocating for insurance fraud here.
Well, that's kind of what it is. The motor stops working, and you have insurance on the motor. Get rid of the motor.
Yep. And then
Which
you get all this
horrible because those are people.
Those motors are people.
Yeah.
And then you get billions of dollars, and
yeah. So going back to that,
you make your new motor. Your next pop star.
Yeah, you use that. You use a little bit of it as seed money, and you fucking go sign William Eyelash. Write their songs. I'm just kidding. That's just a rumor. I don't know if it holds any water or anything.
Dude, write their songs. That was another rabbit hole I got into. Is ghostwriters.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Kid Cudi?
Lupe Fiasco.
Lupe Fiasco.
He did an interview. I forgot what radio station it was for. It's probably one of those series Sway in the Morning or something like that. Mm-hmm. But he did an interview saying,
Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, he walked into to record, talk about his next album. He's like, okay, yeah, we have the team over here ready to write your next. He's like, what? He's like, there's teams of people writing your album.
It's like Rockstar. Remember, he walks in with the album cover and so he's like, oh, I'm glad you had fun working on your little songs over the summer. I busted my ass writing these songs. The new album's already been written.
Yeah. I know you guys write some, not some,
all, not some, but if you think about it, it sucks. it really sucks. No, it sucks to be an artist. You and me as musicians would fucking know how horrible. Even if the God help me if a singer is like, no, go like this. Fucker, would you say to me? Would you beatbox to me? No, just kidding. In the back of my mind a little bit, but I'm like, okay, I'll do that. But if you walked in somewhere and everything was already written, you're a creative person. That's where you came from. And then you go in there and you have no creative say and you got to go out there and fucking dance,
But what about those people that are just doing it for the money and the fame? Do you think they care?
Oh, fuck no. If somebody came to me and said, hey, you're going to be our new plant, here's fucking fame and fortune, just play these songs. Fuck yeah, dude. Yes, I would. If you guys are looking for a new plant, a fucking 38-year-old pop star.
He has some really great dance moves.
They're all from Fortnite. So if you think about it, after you told me this, I started thinking about it, and it's what it does is essentially it turns these artists or bands or whatever that you love into TV shows. So, what's the difference between that and The Office? I love The Office. Think of The Office. If The Office were a band, you wouldn't say boo about it. Okay, yeah, they have a team of writers. They have people who dress them. They have people that make the stages, make the sets and everything. And I mean, they don't come up with the things they're saying. They're written by a team of writers, and they have executives that bring in notes and say, no, you shouldn't say that because it might upset these people, or say this because we want to sell this product or whatever, and we have this fucking advertiser and all these different things. But it's just taking that model and putting it onto artists, which is pretty shitty.
You know who depicted all this stuff really well, or what movie?
Me, right now. You just heard it. Well, not 5 seconds ago.
No, did you ever see Josie and the Pussycats? Like,
no.
No?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, a lot of the pop boy bands and stuff are.
I think they get they talk about like boy bands getting in a plane accident like regularly in that movie.
Oh, really?
If I remember correctly, yeah.
Ooh. But it's so funny that the depiction of that in movies, because we were just talking about Almost Famous. Almost Famous has a plane crash scene where they're not actually, spoiler alerts, fucking 25 years later. If you haven't seen Almost Famous, what the fuck are you doing? So there's that scene where the plane's going to go down with the entire band in, and then they're all fucking confessing their sins to everybody, and then it levels out. It's like, we're going to make it. And everyone's fucking just, the drummer's like, he's like, fuck it, I'm gay. And then it levels out. And you're like, so it's even on you look at the depiction of those airplane crashes in popular culture and literature and film, and even there, they know how prevalent it is, even though the fucking statistics say otherwise. 1 in 1.2 million, or dying is 1 in 11 million. The probability of you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning walking to the grocery store. I don't know if that's true. It sounded good though, right? It sounded true.
I don't know what they call it. Like I said, I'm dumb. But could it be like it's probably another conspiracy theory. It's like they're just desensitizing people to it, like
that, dude. That's what James Cameron conspiracy theory is. So I was trying to get into it. He's like, it's 19 pages long, dude. We'll save it for another one.
It's like 10 minutes before we start recording. It's like,
but yeah, some of it is it goes like deep into like alleged like MK Ultra stuff where they use film to prepare people for like there's a movie about aliens, and then all of a sudden they see something in the sky. You know,
shoot
it's
out
like
a balloon.
Trying to like make people think like they use it to kind of discredit those things, like, oh, like that fucking movie, like, you're dumb, that was in a movie. It's like, no, but they made that movie.
But I think we talked about this already before too. It's like when a new war movie comes out, and the numbers increase.
Yeah, like war movies and stuff, and then next thing you know, we're in a conflict or whatever, and it's just like to get that whole like rah nationalism, fucking back the troops kind of thing. Yeah, it's a valuable tool for government. Ooh. You're all sheep, people. You're all sheep. I'm a lion, not a sheep. It's so stupid.
Giants are real.
Oh my god, you in these fucking underground giants.
Giants are real.
Giants were real. They were real big footprints with a little scoop when they step in mud, and you can tell it's real.
Ancient Egypt was built by aliens.
That's some whitewashing bullshit. We've seen what we can do on construction sites.
Yeah, that's true. No, but
we've seen the power of brown people.
Unmatched hustle.
We move mountains, motherfuckers. Yeah, it's just, I mean, don't take away from. I mean, it was slave labor, but I mean, they were fucking innovative.
Well, like there's a I don't know if it's new, but like they're talking about like they use frequencies to manipulate the rocks to move them and stuff. Like,
oh, that'd be cool.
Like a bunch of like, think of like
lost technology.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. It's like I just start hitting a.
Welcome to part 2 of.
I just start hitting a certain note. You start floating and shit.
The brown note. Wrong note. Asshole. I gotta go change my loincloth, you fucking dick. These cost 20 doubloons. Never gonna financially recover from this. It's just like, no, there's just shit running down your leg. God damn it. We're not wearing anything. You make me shit my skin. You make me shit my legs. So yeah. So death class people. So it goes back like, okay, we've gotten through the history of like record charts and the mob and stuff, mob ties, and even starts to go into to things like Spotify and everything. But now, I mean, all of the you know what also was really weird? The actress that played the original Wednesday Addams just died. Like at the height of that character's popularity because of the new Netflix
Dude,
Wednesday series.
we're just scratching the surface. Like we're only focusing on music, but
yeah, this is like maybe 5% of the people. I know people listening to this are like, what about this guy? What about this guy? You know, we could go back in fucking Kurt Cobain. How much money they made off of Nirvana because Kurt died.
how much are they still?
And
making?
all of them dying at like 27, that whole thing.
The 27 Club.
Yeah, because it's like when you stop appealing to a younger audience, and the younger audience is the ones that they always wanted to capitalize on. So
Because they're the ones without a mortgage, that, you know, they have spendable income, you know, working at like Target or Walmart. It's like,
yeah,
you know,
working at McDonald's just so you could buy some fucking records and shit and just chill with your buddies. Boom.
yeah, man.
Even in movies like before, I mean, not anymore, but it was like super fucking ageist. Like a woman in her 30s, like, fuck, we're not gonna cast you. Like, do you have a little sister like in her 20s? Like, we can cast or whatever.
Uh-oh. You're getting burglarized again.
I'm getting burgled. Hamburglar.
Shut up.
So
They're not my dogs that can tell them to shut up.
just thinking about all the like Aaliyah like dying in that plane crash, like right when that movie was gonna come out.
I think she was 21.
The or Michael Jackson right before all of that, those allegations
tour?
kind of.
Well, he had just sold out a tour.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see This Is It?
Mm-mm.
The Michael Jackson documentary? Like, dude, that one's actually really good.
I never saw it. Is that the one where people were like, okay, he did it?
Huh?
Is that the one where people were like, okay, he did it?
No. It was about the tour. It was basically
Oh, okay, yeah, like the actual
the
like,
rehearsals and
yeah.
stuff, dude, and like again, like separating
Yeah,
the art from the artist. Like,
he was a fucking genius.
dude, there's points where
Just
he's
the master of his craft.
you know, I'm pretty sure it's out there. Like, people like, oh, what if that's not him singing? Well, even if it's not him singing, like if he's lip singing or something, like
The dance moves.
can he
alone,
dance like that?
Yeah,
Like that's not AI,
the
bro.
choreography and the showmanship.
And just the ear that he had, like for it and stuff. It's like, you're coming in a little late here, you know. Or I really want this part to pop, so try this, you know.
He was like fucking Whiplash, like
No,
again,
not quite my tempo.
not quite my tempo.
Yeah,
Again, that movie fucking gave me crazy anxiety.
really.
Yeah. Just like seeing him try to play faster, I was like, oh, like,
Yeah.
felt my fucking arms tightening up.
When he's in the rehearsal studio, like just beats the shit out of his snare
Yeah,
because he can't play it. I love that movie, dude.
that was me because I fucking suck. He was actually playing very difficult things. But yeah, like to think that there are, I mean, it's not, it's kind of weird that it's considered like this outlandish conspiracy theory when it makes a lot of sense. Like in insurance, like life insurance terms, those things do exist. The person that's making you the most money, you can put insurance policies on, and they are in the contracts or whatever. So it would make sense, and especially if you have ties to the mob, who have no problems with killing people because or unaliving people because because the motor stopped. It all makes sense, people.
Yeah, and we haven't even got to the craziest part of this, like death clause. Like that, all the money from that insurance policy goes to the record companies.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't go to, like your wife, your kids, nothing. It goes directly to the insurance or the
The company,
and they don't even have to
the company
disclose
that
it.
employed you,
They don't have to disclose it.
the company that you owed money to, because they fronted you money and you weren't successful.
And then in the video, it also explains, like, a lot of artists can sell part of their royalty or part of their masters and stuff. I forgot what exactly he says. So now it's like, not only do you have to worry about the record company, you got to worry about random people that own a part of your
Random people.
your work, your life's work,
Yeah.
because they'll probably make more money from you.
So it really makes you think that whole thing, like anybody can just start, can become a success in their field and just start making a lot of money independently, and then have these shady characters that come in. Like one of them was like, I think it was still that band, Rare Earth, where they were struggling with money because they didn't sell or whatever. And then these fucking sharks come in, these loan sharks, and they're fucking tied to the mob. And then so you owe not only the record company, you owe these fucking loan sharks money. So you gotta like go in there and fucking, like my life depends on this hit.
Yeah.
Like I just need a song.
Dude.
Give me a song. And then you have things like, which is like somebody accused Jimmy Page of stealing a riff that later became Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
It's like wouldn't you steal a song if your fucking life depended on it?
Yeah.
Like literally depended on it.
I think the guy's name was I want to say, I think that's why I kept thinking like Robbie California. He was like a protege and like played for Jimi Hendrix at like 15. And he was in a band, and the band wasn't really going anywhere, or like kind of started their decline.
But they had one riff.
Yeah, and he accused Jimmy Page of stealing it. And then that's like what became, I don't know, like if it's just the intro or what lick it is actually.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in Hawaii with his son. They were in the water, and then next thing you know, like something happens, and he pushes his son out of the riptide, and they never found his body. Crazy things, man. It's a lot of coincidences.
Yeah.
But
well, what did detectives say? We don't believe in coincidences.
yeah, we don't believe in coincidences.
I got that from The Dark Knight Rises.
We don't believe in coincidence.
Shout out to Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I hope you hear that. No.
Damn it! I was gonna make another point. Yeah. So the posthumous profiteering. So for listening to this, just think about how much money has been made from the deaths of these artists. How iconic they become after they pass. Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Elvis,
Prince.
They were iconic before. Yeah.
Brent Fry and the Eagles. Like
Aaliyah, her career was so fucking young. And now she's just like in the annals of music history.
I saw at least one Aaliyah shirt today.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It's kind of like the airbrushed ones, like
Yeah.
those are starting to get real popular again for some reason.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of reels and stuff of just like old interviews of Aaliyah. But it's just it becomes an immortal motor.
Yeah, TLC, like Left Eye Died.
Yeah, it becomes this thing that just cannot be stopped. When they're alive, it can stop. The motor can stop running, stop making money, and then nobody cares. But you martyr somebody or you immortalize them in that way, then it's just everybody's still fucking making their money.
Yeah, and then you get a movie.
I'm scared.
Then you get a movie made and it's making more money. Johnny Cash, Ray Charles, Richie Valens, Selena. I mean, the list goes on.
Freddie Mercury.
That one took forever, but still.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's insane, man.
I'm scared now. I should have put this episode out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, dude. All this like just reminds me. Like my wife will tell you. I'm pretty sure she's already told. Like I like I wouldn't consider it a musical, but like Cadillac Records and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I like those. I like a lot of movies like that are based on true events, but like in music and stuff. So like Cadillac Dreamgirls, I really I really like Dreamgirls.
Is
Um,
that the one with John Travolta?
no, that's the one with Beyonce.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And
I got it.
what's her name?
Yeah.
Vanessa.
What's her name?
Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamgirls. It's a really good movie. Selena's like my all-time favorite movie.
Selena. That's another one.
But I mean that one's, I don't know.
But like you said, we'll only scratch the surface because you think about how it happens now, and apparently now it's like instant. A company can make billions of dollars off of somebody's death because you're fucking going to Spotify. You're doing YouTube videos. So those YouTube videos are getting plays, so they're getting ad time.
There's a lot of heat for, I forget what record company it was, a couple years back. XXX
Tentacion?
Yeah, and then Little Peep. I guess they did a song together, but it wasn't finished. But the record company put it out, like, because they had both passed away, like,
perfect,
close to each other, you know. And then someone like Juice World passed away, and like, yeah,
I've been a fan of Juice World for
it's crazy, and that's like another conspiracy theory too. Is like a lot of the stuff he like supposedly like put out messages, and then there was another artist that like he put out a record, and he take the first letter of each one. It says "Juice is alive" or something like that.
Oh shit! I remember those from like Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah,
Shook Me, that one song. But yeah, there's another one.
Tupac and Biggie.
They don't know who did it.
Who
But
knows?
how fucking much money have Tupac and Biggie made since then? Or whoever owns their rights, I guess.
Yep. You know, NWA, Eazy-E.
Mm-hmm.
Like
there was that one interview with Suge Knight. Did you see? I think he was like on the Tonight Show or something.
Yeah, we have
He
syringes.
He said, no, you don't kill people like that instantly anymore. You do it slowly, like you walk up to somebody and you just pick them with something, and then they die of natural causes or of illness. He fucking says it.
Yeah,
on TV, on live TV.
Dude, we could do a whole episode on like the death row, like
yeah, just their own episode of the death clause.
Jeez, dude. But yeah, like I said, dude, this is like a piece of a piece of a piece, you know, of the puzzle.
Yeah, but it's all for entertainment, people.
Yeah, we just thought it was interesting, and like
we're just here to inform and scare. Don't become successful. Stay under the radar. Don't like and subscribe this. I'm just kidding. Please like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. No, you know, like I said earlier, we're just, I wouldn't say taking chances. You know, it's just we're doing what we want to do. Yeah. You know, nobody's writing a script for us.
Yeah. wait till that ad money comes in. Just kidding. I was gonna write our shit. Look at this. Look at this fucking junk chicken scratch notes and shit.
Yeah, look at my notes.
This is our writing team right here. God damn it.
I have 4 things.
Yeah, but we hope you guys got a little creeped out, a little weirded out.
Hope we open up your mind's eye. And
yeah, we hope we red pilled you. We hope you're red pilled now. You see things. I hope you're not sheeple anymore. God, so stupid. But what I really hope is that people get that same tingle, like, oh shit, like when we listen to fucking conspiracy theory videos when we're driving around.
Yeah, conspiracy iceberg videos.
And then once this podcast ends, once we say have one of those, then it's just gone. It's just you think about it later, like whatever in passing. We hope we entertained you for the
hour and 19 minutes.
Oh shit, my bad.
We were gonna do more. We were gonna do more like
Yeah,
conspiracies.
yeah. He was like, "Oh, you want to do another one?" Because sometimes I'm like, "Oh my god, this is like the last, like doing the breakdown segment on that one. I thought it was gonna take like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and it took like 3 minutes. I was like, God damn! It's like, well, let's see when we start recording.
He's
Because
like,
all
look,
these notes,
I got 2 pages of notes. What if it lasts like 2 minutes? I'm like,
yeah, because all these notes can be fucking 2 minutes or 2 hours. We just never know until we start talking.
yeah. I mean,
Until we start waxing.
Like Brian said, we hope you were entertained with this one. You know, we plan on doing stuff like this. You know, not more frequently, but like
I was entertained. I was titillated.
as time goes on, you know, we'll do special episodes like this. I had a point to saying that, but I forgot what it was. Damn it.
Well, I mean, we've been switching it up. We did the.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like this episode. Like,
oh, we're gonna do the post credit like plug of the last episode.
no. But you should check out the
Yeah,
last
go
one. It was a 2-parter. We went to the flea market.
Yeah, he made me interview everybody very awkwardly.
Yeah.
2 days after.
I bought a jean jacket because of that too.
2 days after a horrible breakup. That was a lot of fun. For me. Here, go talk to people. Stop crying first. Stop crying.
I'm gonna try my
Hi.
best. I'm gonna try my best on Sunday.
Hi.
I didn't even mention that. I just said, you know, because given the circumstances, you did a really good job.
Yeah, so
But
those
now-
were the circumstances.
Now it's out there in the world. So, but yeah, this was a lot of fun. It's centered around one topic, but we did like jump around. So, sorry, that's probably my fault because I didn't do.
Come down to the coast, have some laughs. We if you can guess that reference. But yeah, we had some shitty jokes and some laughs.
Oh, Brian's wearing a hat.
Talked about your wedding. Oh yeah, let's talk about my hat. So
I'm
now
the hat guy.
we can't both be hat guys. You got to take yours off. So Beardly here put me on. No free ads. But he put me on to this company that makes giant hats. He's like, try this hat. And I was like, dude, no hats fit me. Like, I have a giant head. I've never had a hat that fit me. My parents have this old joke because when I graduated preschool, they put the cap on me and it wouldn't fit. And I took the picture like this. I was like, because they were all laughing. Like the teachers were all like laughing. My parents were fucking cracking up. I was just like, and that's when I realized.
Do they
I
have
a
that
fucking
picture?
giant head. I have it.
You have it? Can we
Yeah.
put it up?
Yeah, we'll put it up. Fucking
Nice.
okay. But he's like, put this hat on. It looks like a regular hat. And I put it on. I was like, this fits. So, yeah. You can't, you might not be able to tell, but I can fit like 4 small dogs in this hat. It's a full watermelon. In this hat. And still room.
So, yeah, you can't.
No free ads.
You can't be the hat guy, dude.
No free ads. But if you have a big head, there is hope.
On Amazon.
Yeah, hit Amazon.
All right. You got anything else, man?
That's all I got.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed. I had fun. It went by quick, dude. This one.
It did.
This one. So you should.
Because there's so fucking much to talk about.
Yeah, and usually, like I think the past couple episodes, like we write the day of, but we kind of knew going into this one. It's like, all right, we're going to talk
I
about
was
this,
excited to talk about it.
and
I was excited to get you scared that I was going to say something that would get us killed. It's like, yeah, back to like the old days, like the 1 and 2 episodes that were you were like bleeping me out and shit. Like,
I'm
you can't
not
say
even
that, dude. You can't say that.
yeah, I wasn't
Those are fun times.
I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about like the video getting taken down.
Yeah. Whatever.
We hope you enjoyed. We promise we will do this more often, so we can talk for an hour and a half and not just be like, you got anything else?
Vamping.
Yeah, vamping. That's O'Brien's new favorite word is vamping.
Yeah, if you're listening, shout out to Brianna. She's in the biz. She says it's a little bit vampy. I was like, what the fuck is vampy?
It doesn't sound vampy in my cans.
Yeah. It's not vampy. She's like, what are cans? You idiot. Yeah, I had fun.
Yeah. So when you listen to this, hope you're having a great morning, great afternoon, great evening.
Yeah, have one of those.
All right, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.